Greetings and welcome to the One Broadway podcast. I'm Aaron Tornberg here at One Broadway in Lawrence, Massachusetts. I'm here today with a great guest. I met him many years ago, but I saw him again recently, so I asked him to come on. His name is Kvein. Say hi, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So I'll get to Kevin in a minute, but I want to mention, of course, that One Broadway is a nonprofit music and arts organization. We are on the web at onebroadway.org. That's onebroadway.org. You can check it out. You can make donations. You can find out our schedule. You can do all kinds of exciting things on the web. And what we'll be doing this week is this will air on Friday morning at 9 a.m. At 7 p.m., we're going to have Rick Page, Neil Dale, and Matt Laius. So those are the three songwriters in the round who are going to be performing, and they will go in a round, play one song each, and that will happen this Friday at 7 p.m., so that is tonight, if you're listening to this on Friday. So we have that, and also, of course, our open mic is every week, 2 to 5 p.m., and if you're interested in being on the podcast or participating in Songwriters in the Round, coming to the open mic, just check the website, onebroadway.org. All right. So, Kevin, let's start with my usual question. Where are you from?
I'm from originally a small town called Winslow, Arizona.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Were you standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona?
I was crying on the corner as just a baby.
Okay. So, but so you lived the history of the song, right? Do you know the song by the Eagles that involves Winslow, Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do indeed have 7 women on my mind.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Many, I'm sure.
Many more even, yeah. So Winslow, Arizona, it's a small town?
I can't really remember it too well. But from what I hear it is, I made my way back there in Arizona at my first music festival performing in Mesa. And unfortunately, I didn't have a car. I was kind of stranded there for a couple days in Mesa. Beautiful, beautiful city. Met a lot of great people there. But yeah, I'm hoping to make my way back and sing my old roots.
Do they have Mesa Verde? Is that right near there in Mesa? That's where I've been. And I remember going to Arizona, and there's this place called Mesa Verde, which is like an old Native American village.
It probably is close. Is it near Phoenix? I think Phoenix was like on the same train from Mesa, the town.
Okay. Well, I have no idea, so we'll look it up after.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Arizona's beautiful. I mean, the formations and Grand Canyon, obviously, all that stuff. I've been there a few times. And Phoenix, the weird thing about Phoenix is nobody has a lawn. It's like everything is cacti, and sand. And it's people spend a lot of time cultivating this desert landscape on their front lawn instead of a green lawn.
Yeah.
Because of the water shortage. So I found that really interesting. It was kind of, that's the most jarring thing when you go down to the southwest of the United States. So yeah. So you grew up in Winslow, or you?
I was actually born there. I lived in Arizona for roughly 5 years, and then we ended up moving to Massachusetts in 2000 to help my brother get better college opportunities down here.
Yeah. So did he?
Yeah. He graduated from BU, and then he just got his master's at BC.
Oh, nice.
So,
was his master's in?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but you went the music route?
I did. I did go the music route. That was actually his passion is music as well. And he all these bands, like, he knows so much. I'm always blown away because I got into music because of him, because, when he was living with us for a little while, I was like, hey, Stuart, can you show me a couple chords? And, he showed me a few chords, and then next thing I know, I was like writing a song or something,
Well, so when did that happen? When did you start writing?
For guitar, I started writing when I was like 16, but I had been writing on piano, fooling around on that for a little bit prior. That's always going to be my first love. I just love piano, but I chose to pursue learning guitar because I could just bring it everywhere,
Yeah, it's hard to carry a piano with you.
It is.
Keyboard, yeah, but still.
It's not the same, though, because you need, like, a speaker to come out. You need a power source,
Right.
I could just be, like, but now I can just be that, like, acoustic guitar douchebag, on my college campus, back in the day,
Did you do college, or?
I did an associate's at Mount Wachusett Community College.
Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy that experience?
Yes. I just remember that I started learning guitar at 2010, not 2016.
Okay.
So my mind's a little jumbled right now. But yeah, I enjoyed the social aspect of it. I have always enjoyed meeting new people, and there are some phenomenal musicians I met down there who have crossed paths with me in my music journey today. Adrian Sanders is one. He's a blues musician. Mike Meehan. There's another guy named Ulrich Mercado. Like, I just loved his songwriting. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's so many. I can't even remember them all.
So it was a rich environment for you musically to go to the college there, and you just hung out and played music most of the time? Is that?
I wish that was true. I think that it was school.
Right.
You know what I mean? So most of the time, they didn't have a music major there, and I remember I tried to start a music major there at the time, and they had all the classes, but there's just other things going on at the time, and they just, they had other priorities at the time. But yeah, hopefully that is an option for the people there now, because they have a great theater program, and they have the audio classes, and you could definitely do some sort of blend. They have a piano class that, if I remember correctly, if Professor Diedrich is still there, she's really funny, great person. They had a guitar teacher there, music history course. They had everything, but they it just wasn't an option for me. Actually, maybe it was to have like a blended kind of curriculum, But
so you started playing with your brother, like he started you with chords and songwriting.
Yeah.
So you're much better than you were then, because I've heard you play. What did you? How did you get there? Like what was the timeline? How did that work?
In regards to me progressing?
Yeah, like how did you progress? Did you progress more by doing these classes, or did you progress more because you watched YouTube constantly and copied whatever they're teaching you, or what? How did you get there?
Honestly, I know a lot of people use the YouTube route, and I have learned a few things from YouTube, but I'm a terrible student. You know what I mean? I picked up a few things I did have a few independent teachers. There was a guy named Ed Trepanier. He showed me how to solo. We would swap from, he'd play chord progression, and I'd solo, and then I'd play the chord progression, he'd solo, and just something like that. And then I had a guy named Mike. I can't remember Mike's last name. I just remember calling him Mike, the guitar teacher. He's like a jazz cat who went to Berkeley too. And I was once again a terrible student, but I really progressed when I was with him, because he was taking me out of my element, which was going into jazz and alternate bass, but in regards to inspiring me to become a better guitarist, and a better musician, singer, writer, it was when I started going out and seeing other artists and seeing how good they were, because Worcester has so many great musicians, and, when you go and you just experience that, there's a little bit of envy, when you're first starting, you're like, oh my God, they're so good. Like, I can't go up, but then you do, and you're like, and then, wow, that was trash, and then, but I remember I was I was friends with someone who they were really good at fingerstyle, so I wanted to become good at fingerstyle. So I think the key of getting better is definitely surrounding yourself with people who are better than you, or people who you perceive as better than you, and just going that route.
So where do you play in Worcester?
In Worcester, yes. It's been a while since I played in Worcester, to be honest, if I remember correctly. But I used to play at the Raven a lot, and they have a lot of great artists from that area. Like, do you know Eric Fournier?
I've heard the name, yeah.
He's, I don't even know how to describe him, but he plays a lot of passion. There was Mike Andrioli. He's a phenomenal guitarist, one of the guys I was telling you about, who I was just so inspired by his fingerstyle playing. There was Molly Jane Gain. Do you know Molly Jane Gain?
Mm-mm.
Oh, she's so good.
Well, sounds like future podcast participants, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
There's so many. But in our generation, I guess, the people who was a part of my group, Fanta, she's an R&B singer who really stands out to me. And I know they have a whole bunch of them.
And these are all local Worcester musicians?
Yep, in the area.
Mm-hmm. Have they all been sort of doing a particular circuit, or do they tour? Did you learn, like, how to do the business of music at all?
Oh, you mean in regards to setting up shows, or?
Right.
Yeah. In regards to setting up shows, I know that there are some venues, I mean, when you're in there, when you're performing a lot, of course you play in a lot of places that don't really have a built-in crowd. That makes it a little bit harder, because, obviously there's a financial component when you're driving out, to different places. But it's, I think it's important to definitely go where the people are, and right now, I would definitely say hop into the brewery circuit for anyone, because they have a lot of, I guess, opportunity there. You can make a lot of new friends. They're pretty cool about, different genres. I don't know about hip hop so much, but hip hop does have a strong foundation in Worcester, but yeah. But in regards to learning about the music business, I would definitely, say reach out to other musicians who are similar to you, and hear what their advice is and see where they're playing. Reach out to those venues, and yeah, that's kind of the way it works roughly.
Do you do this full time, the music?
I'm trying to, if you really look at the math, what you can make, if you're that tier, if you become that tier level performer, it seems so, it's like right there, it really just comes down to tenacity and keep reaching out. I wish I did, long story short, but it's kind of, that's the challenge, to be honest. It's like, you have a choice, you can go play in breweries and restaurants that pay decent, and you can make friends and fans there, of course. And then you can also perform at, more creative artsy hubs. Northampton has a very artsy scene. Southbridge used to, through Starlight. The Raven was kind of an artsy kind of place where a lot of artists would go down and play. But those little pockets, but I forgot what the question was.
Well, I was just asking you about, your way of making money, and that's what you're answering.
Yeah,
that's helpful.
Definitely, I would say reach out to breweries and restaurants that pay.
And the Arts Center, of course, I'm partial to because I am in one right now. The One Broadway Collaborative is a good arts center to play in. But Lawrence is just starting to have a music scene. So that's what we're trying to do here is really get musicians to come here. It sounds like Worcester's got a lot of stuff and some other places I know do. But there's so many musicians here in Lawrence, too. And so it's good to tell people who are trying to do that, places and ways to do it. So that's helpful information.
Yeah.
So what did you do after college? Like you did your associates, and then did you get a job you liked?
No, not at all.
You don't have to tell me what it is if you don't want. But.
Oh, I mean, it's not a bad job. It was I was a cart pusher at Walmart.
Oh yeah.
And I have so many great stories from that, from that experience, but I ended up leaving that job because, first off, I got it when I was in winter, which is the worst time,
right?
Because
you're pushing it on the slush and
the slush, the snow, and I had some really the people who I was working with, they were characters, man. They were really, really funny people, Mm-hmm. And what can I tell? What story can I tell? Well, anyway, I'll tell this story. But one of my favorite moments from that was actually it was my birthday, right? Mm-hmm. And I was at work, and I was like, damn, I wish I could be anywhere else. We all have those moments, And so I walk up and I'm getting these carts, and all of a sudden I come across this cart that's just filled. It's the top, overflowing with just trash, random trash from oil to wrappers to bottles of who knows what, And I'm oh man, gee, this really sucks. And this woman walks by as she's walking out the store, and she's like, oh, happy birthday. And I look at her. And I'm like, how, what? I'm it is my birthday. And she's like, what? Get out of here. No way. And she starts laughing about it. And I start laughing about it. And I was just like, good Lord. But yeah, that's, it was really fun. It was a fun time. I have fun memories at Walmart, but when you have when you have such a job where it's very simple, you start thinking about what you really want, And at that point, I didn't even have a recording out of me playing, which is, it's so pivotal to have those, to have recordings out, that are professionally or well produced. And I really just wanted to get that. And so, I ended up just saying, hey, can you give me this hour off, or, a couple of days off so I can get this? And, I don't think they said I could or something. And I said, that I'm just out of here or something like that. I really, but I really enjoyed them. They're really great people when I was working with her. So they even invited me well, if you want to come back, but in my mind I was like, no, never,
Yeah.
But
you moved on.
Yeah.
So well, that's, I've had a job like that. I worked at Barnes & Noble. Just checking people out, doing the cashier thing. And it's got its moments, It does. Sometimes it's okay, and sometimes not so much. And the customers, when they're mean for no reason, it's very frustrating to deal with. But although pushing the carts, I hope you didn't get too many customers yelling at you.
No.
Yeah, that would be, because that's the worst part of retail.
Yeah.
But, do you have a song you want to start with?
Yes. Let me look at this list I have here and see. I guess going on the reflection of, thinking about who we want to be and, off that statement, I guess I'm going to play this song. The song is called Counting Dandelions. And let's see if I can do it justice today.
All right.
It's a live performance, which means if I mess up, you heard it first. Some count the clouds in the sky. Some count the cars whizzing by. Some count the women who've given up their time. Some count the reasons to stay alive. Well, is it no more to lose your mind? Standing in a field counting dandelions, oh, looking for somewhere to feel at home. Is it okay to break your heart? Spend a couple years floating in the dark. Forgive yourself for becoming someone you don't know. And I wish I knew my friends. And I tell you how I love you, my friends. How can I judge you? Some count the zeros in the bank. Some count the skips across the lake. Some count the petals. Guess she loves me not today. Some count the wolves to stay awake. Well, is it no more to lose your mind? Standing in a field counting dandelions, oh, looking for somewhere to feel at home. Is it okay to break your heart? Spend a couple years floating in the dark. Forgive yourself for becoming someone you don't know. And I wish I knew my friends. How I will you, how I love you, my friends. How I love you. Something like that. You're very kind. Thank you.
That was good.
for all you guys listening, you didn't know, but I actually messed up, and Aaron was like, let's do that again. So thank you, Aaron.
All right, no problem. Want it to sound good, you know.
Yep.
That's the idea. You got to sound your best. So, and when was that written?
You know, that was actually written, I think it was during the pandemic of last year, you know, and I was like, I want to write something of, you know, of meaning. And the lyrics really are, I think the lyrics are very interesting. I can't recall what the hell they are off the top of my head, but if I remember correctly, just like for instance, the last one, some count the wolves to stay awake. You know, it's a play on, you know, an idea of counting sheep to fall asleep, you know, and that one really means like, you know, some people just are looking for people not to trust, you know, and you know what I mean? So just a whole bunch of little lyrics like that I think are interesting in that song. But I ended up submitting it to the NPR Tiny Desk concert this year. And I did like this little loop version, and that was kind of neat. It was really loud, and I need to definitely continue to do videos like that, because on top of playing shows, you know, I believe that as an independent artist, if you're trying to really expand your online presence, is just so important, you know. And to be honest, I haven't been the best in regards to online presence.
Yeah, it's hard to keep that up. I mean, it's like a, 8-hour-a-day job just to keep up your social media. Sometimes it feels like, and yeah, I understand. It's, we all have to deal with that if you want people to hear your stuff and see what you're doing, and especially with music. But that's great. You want to play another one?
Yes. Let me see what I got here. So a lot of my songs I've been writing, because I'm in a band as well, and a lot of songs I've been writing for myself and the band have just been really reflective on who I want to be, what message do I want to send in my music. And you know, prior to me writing these songs, it was a while. It had been a period of like 3 or 4 years since I'd been writing any songs I was even remotely happy with. Most of it was just like angry songs that had a lot of darkness and pain, and they weren't even all that good. So I'm like, this isn't who I want to be, you know? And I guess in a sense, you know, I just want to move on from that. So I guess this song... What's this one called? Which one do I want to do from this one? This one, I guess, this one's called Shine. It's been a while since I've had love. Every woman who held my heart well never seemed to be enough, and I don't care. I don't cry anymore. I'm a man and I understand. Pick yourself up off the floor and I shine like the sun in the sky. Fly, people call me alien. The smiles are passing by in a mean world of strange, choosing to be your oh higher, 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 oh higher. It's been a while since I've had peace. Far too many nights spent crying and begging down on my knees, and I don't mope around anymore. I'm a man and I understand. Pick yourself up off the floor and I shine like the sun in the sky. I fly. People call me alien. I smile as I pass them by. In a mean world, strange. True as it to be you. Oh, hiya, oh, hiya, oh, hiya, oh, hiya, oh, hiya, oh, hiya. Oh, hiya, oh, hiya, oh, hiya, oh, hiya, oh, hiya, oh, hiya. And I shine oh, like the sun in the sky. I fly. People call me alien. I smile as I pass them by. In a mean world, strange. True as it to be. And that's a little short one. Thank you very much.
Nice. So, you have an interesting last name. It's Kvein, but you pronounce it Queen. What does that come from?
You know, that actually goes back to the Winslow story. I was, first off, I was born premature. I was a very sickly little baby. And my mother, we weren't supposed to make it. My mom was supposed to die that night or something, and so was I. And the doctor who delivered me, you know, was a very feisty character. And he told the nurse, he's like, hey, like, we need to get this baby a helicopter. And it's like a life flight or something, whatever those little helicopters are, or an airplane. And she didn't do it, and he got mad at her. So he ended up long story short, the plane came. I got flown to Phoenix, and he in a way, I mean, he helped save my life, you know. And my mom ended up getting better too. And that doctor's name was Dr. Kvein, Kvein. So rather than naming me whatever name, my mom just scrambled the V and the E, and she spelled Kevin. So when I was thinking of a stage name, you know, that's always an interesting journey, right? I was thinking, you know what? I think I'm going to call myself Kevin Queen. You know, it's you know, so that's the story behind the name.
That's a great story. I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And do you ever contact that doctor after that? Did anybody in the family thank him and go see him ever, or no?
You know, who knows? Maybe the next podcast. I don't know. You don't have him hiding. You don't have him hiding behind a corner around here, do you?
No, it's not that kind of podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Queen, this is your life.
Yeah.
No. But that's great that you could honor him in that way. Someone who was so important to your survival at the beginning, and now he's your stage name. I just think if you could reach out to him and he knew that, I think he'd really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was a long time ago, I'm assuming, and
He probably wouldn't remember. But you know what? Actually, he probably would remember, because apparently he was off duty that day, and something tells me that he would remember being called in early in the morning, driving out to this small middle of nowhere hospital where they don't deliver babies in the middle of nowhere. You know, when you're not on duty. You know what I mean? There's a good chance.
I think he'd probably remember that.
Yeah.
Especially because of the problem where the nurse didn't call the flight.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that happened that probably were quite memorable.
Yeah.
But thanks for that story. That's interesting. So when you were growing up, your family moved directly from Winslow to Massachusetts?
Yeah. Well, my family is originally from New York to Boston, you know. So then my mom moved to Arizona. So she just moved back to Massachusetts, you know, because it's just where she was comfortable, you know. And yep. And then now we're North Brookfield, which is an interesting thing because North Brookfield has a rich history of artists, and you know, there was like a famous playwright the Rolling Stones, I guess, stayed in like a barn in North Brookfield, and Stevie Wonder, Death Cab for Cutie, a whole bunch of artists ended up recording there too as a recording studio. And I approached them one time. I knocked on their door and I was like, hey, we're having a show. I invited them out to a show. They didn't come.
Were they nice though?
Oh yeah, they're very nice. They had a really cool doorbell. It glowed in the dark. I'm like, this is so cool,
This was the recording studio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They don't do music anymore since I've gone. I don't think so, but
yeah, that's cool though. So when you were growing up, do you have brothers, sisters, or just you?
I have a brother and I have a sister. My brother is the musical one. He's
Right.
very musical. He's a much better guitarist than I. But my sister, they both did trumpet, and I think my sister learned keyboard. She doesn't play anything now,
Mm-hmm.
I think she was picking up ukulele, and she taught me how to play a Justin Bieber song on ukulele,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's my mom plays ukulele and piano and sings. Yeah, that's the musicality in my family. Apparently, we also come from a line of musicians from Puerto Rico who were like a touring like band with like horns, like Spanish jazz or something like that.
Cool.
But yeah.
Oh, you should be hanging out in Lawrence. There's a lot of Puerto Rican community here, and probably a lot of music around. So, but that's cool. Where when you were growing up, did you get encouraged to like play for company and stuff like that, or
Yeah. When I was growing up, I actually hated music.
Oh, okay.
My brother would play his electric guitar, and I'd like cover my ears, and like it would just drive me crazy. Which is ironic. I'm in a rock band now.
Right.
I still can't believe that some days, but yeah. I don't. So no. I mean, they really encouraged me to get into music earlier, but it was something where I feel like I kind of had to fall into myself. I guess that's the way it is in my life. Everything that I do now, I've had to fall in it, rather than I wasn't forced to do music or forced to do anything, so it's just something that I've had to choose, like how to choose.
Mm-hmm. Well, seems like you made a choice, and it's a good one. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You wanna do one more song before a break?
Yes.
I'm gonna talk a little bit after, but let's hear one more before that.
Let me see what I want. Let me see which one. I'm looking at this list, and I don't want to play any of these. Actually, this is a good one. I guess this one's kind of relevant. This is an older one. This I wrote like maybe 2018. Maybe 2017, who knows. It's called Peaches. I've seen peaches bruised by wandering hands. I've seen intentions misuse the kindest of the damned. That's what I've seen. What I've seen. What I've seen. Some seen more than peaches. That's what I've seen. What I seen, what I seen. Some seen more than peaches. seen justice fail by technicality. That's what I've seen. What I seen. What I seen. Some seen more than peaches. That's what I seen. What I seen. What I seen. Some seen more. I've seen peaches shipped to fight wars overseas. I've seen nations built on the backs of slavery. That's what I've seen. It's what I've seen. It's what I've seen. Some seen more than peaches. That's what I've seen. What I see, yeah, I see. Some see more, some see more. Oh. That is Peaches. Very kind, thank you.
So what was that inspiration? What inspired that one?
You know, it's been a long time since I wrote it, so I don't know if I can, say exactly what inspired it per se. But, the opening verse is talking about how, you see good people do bad things, and are they, does that make them bad people, even if they want to be good. And I mean, there's so much, I think that's the beauty of lyrics, is that they can mean so many different things to different people. Like that, I've seen justice fail by technicality. What does that mean? Does that mean the law system? Does that mean, I don't know, man, And then, of course, I make a reference towards, slavery, that, there's just so much. And the peach is such a fragile fruit, you know what I mean? And people are so fragile, So,
Did you ever hear Peaches by the Presidents of the United States of America?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's been covered a lot too, but it's silly. It's not like yours. Yours is really a serious metaphor. Theirs is kind of like moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. That's it's a good song though. You should check it out, just for reference.
Yeah. I kind of I wish I released it a little bit earlier. That song I've played it out a lot. But then Justin Bieber released Peaches. He was like, I get my peaches out in Georgia,
Oh, I don't know that. See, I don't know that one. Mine is dating back 30 years. Yours is dating a little sooner than that.
Yeah.
But yours is unique. I mean, I think that your idea is great. I like that very much.
Thank you. Thank you very
I
much.
like the metaphor, and I think it's well done.
Thank you.
So I'm going to take a short break to talk about One Broadway Collaborative. That's where we're sitting and doing this podcast. And this is a space for music and arts in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Our address is actually One Broadway, and we are in a mill building. You can see the wooden staircase in front, and that's how you get in. And we are available online at onebroadway.org. So you can check out all the events we're doing and all of the different programs that we have going on. And we're really trying to get out there and get some musicians to come and participate in some events. And we have one event that I'm starting, which if musicians are listening, you may be interested in. This is going to be a songwriters evening, but it's going to be a special songwriters evening because it's going to have requirements. And the requirements are you come in, and during this event, you have to actually write a song with another person within 2 hours from a prompt. So I'm going to give you a prompt at the beginning and then say go. And then two or more people write the song. It has to be at least 2 people. It's a collaborative songwriting event. So we'll see how that goes. But to know more about it, you need to check the website, onebroadway.org. And the website will point you to the calendar and under events. And this event in particular is going to be called the Song Mill, because we're in a mill building. So it's the Song Mill. So keep an eye out for that. You can come and participate in the song mill and mill out a song. I was going to do Song Factory, but we're not a factory, we're a mill. So seemed more appropriate. Also, we are on Instagram, TikTok, and etc. The name we have on those is the number 1B Collaborative. 1B Collaborative is our Instagram, TikTok name, and Facebook as well. So we do have a Facebook page. Please like us. That would be nice. It would help. And that's about it. And by the way, Kevin, did you want to mention any social media or anything coming out?
Oh yes, let me mention that. So if you want to find me on social media, you can find me at Kvein Queen. But you spell Queen, K-V as in Victor, E-I-N. And just, Kvein Queen, and you should be able to find me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I'm also on, my band is called Bobbing for Apples, but you should be able to find us.
Okay, great. And do you have any events coming up you want to announce? With the places people could see you live?
Yes.
I know that's tough right now because not everything's live, but...
Well, if you're going to be listening to this on, you say it airs Friday morning?
Yeah, this Friday, August 20th.
All right. If you guys want to come check me out live, I'm going to be performing at a winery called Agronomy. I believe that's in Ware or Oakham. I think it's in Oakham. And I also have a show this weekend at the Common Ground with Bobbing for Apples at, North Brookfield, Common Ground Cider, and so many. Next Saturday, I'm going to be at this place called Black and White in Spencer. And yeah, I mean, those are the shows I have.
All right, great. Sounds like you got a lot coming up.
I got a few.
Yeah, it seems like people are starting to do this again. So that's good. So when you perform with your band, how is that? Because I know you've performed as a solo for a while, right?
Yeah.
And so having experience doing that, I know that it's not always easy to just jump into playing with a band. You have to, it's a whole different mindset. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that's interesting because we're a rock band, and we play all kinds of different styles, which is why our name is Bobbing for Apples, because we really do. We don't want to pigeonhole ourselves in a particular sound, and there are a lot of flavors for apples. And North Brookfield has an apple orchard, which is why we decided to play with that. But it is weird. It's when I first started singing with a distorted guitar, and oh my God, it felt so uncomfortable, and I didn't realize that I had. Apparently I just like to make decisions. I'm one of those people that just likes to make decisions and go. But, when you're in a group with 2 or 3 other people, you got to communicate everything. And sometimes I'm just like, too much talk, and, but it's very important. I've learned so much. I've really developed as a person by being in a band. And, is there anything in particular that you were talking about playing wise, or?
Well, yeah, like when you play, like you can change tempo, you can change key, you can do whatever you want, but that's not going to work if other people have to do it too. So have you found that to be difficult, or did you work it out?
Yeah, I think, I mean, like you said, if you're by yourself, you can play in whatever key you want, just to spice things up. Rob, he's the one who taught me that, you gotta keep it the same or similar, Rob and Paul actually, because that way we don't sound like trash,
right.
With harmonies and, but yeah, definitely you can't be going out doing whatever notes you want all the time, and you can't just take a solo whenever you want, and, it's interesting for sure.
Do you enjoy having like people next to you on stage? Because is it more comforting or less comforting?
It's weird because the other day I had to play by myself, and I was like, oh God, like, it wasn't a good performance, but after I saw, I ended up seeing a band, and I was like, okay, it really reignited that fire in me. And I was like, okay, well, I need to, long story short, yes, it kind of helps you, because if you mess up by yourself, it's so noticeable. But if you have a group of people playing with you, it's less so, But it is interesting because I played another show, or past 2 shows I played. I've had good performances by myself, and I was like, okay, I still got it. I can still do a good performance by myself. So,
yeah. Well, you're doing it right now. It sounds pretty good. So
you're very kind. Thank you.
Yeah, I really did like that Peaches song. I think that's good. Did you record that yet?
No. That's one of the ones people want me to record.
Yeah, I did too. I think you should.
They want me to record a song I wrote in Latin that's half in Latin, and praises they want me to record. But yeah, I should. Maybe those will be the next ones on the next things I do.
Why'd you do one in Latin?
Oh, all right. So this goes back to I was in a Shakespeare class. It was called Shakespeare and Star Wars. And
that's good.
It was talking about how how George Lucas like kind of borrowed the Shakespearean tragedy, such as with Anakin Skywalker, you know, and they talk about the hero's journey and, you know, how they're like these characters that seem insignificant. I guess that plays a role in Shakespeare's style too. And but this one was based off of the play Othello. And if you do you know, but are you familiar with the play Othello? Because I remember you said you know a little bit about Shakespeare.
Yeah, I am, but I have a feeling people listening might not be. So if you want to sort of clue them in, that would help.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but Othello, the story talks a lot about racism. He's a black man who is a warrior who falls head over heels with this woman named Desdemona, and he ends up going away on this ship, you know, and you know that's kind of where the song's perspective is it talks about his longing for Desdemona, and in the song I kind of foreshadow the events that occur, you know, because there's also this evil character who is like who some people question if he's the devil, you know, whatever. His name is Iago, a very fascinating character. He's like so charismatic and everyone's like, "Oh, Iago, you're so good." And he's like, "I'm so good. I would never do you wrong." You know, and then like behind the scenes, you see all the ways he pretty much tricks people in his words and how he plays people. And it's such a fascinating way. And the tragedy of Othello, if I remember correctly, I don't know if I should the play is how old?
It's old enough that you can do a spoiler. I think it's okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, he ends up, if I remember correctly, he ends up killing Desdemona, you know, and I don't know if he ever really finds out Iago's evil or whatever. I can't remember. But that is, I don't know, I mean, that's what I think makes that song interesting, is because it has so much passion, and I hint towards that in the end, you know. I don't know. Maybe one of these days, you know, I'll show you the song, you know. But it's called Per Sempre Tua, and I can't remember what the hell it means. But
well, it sounds like one you could dig out and try again. It sounds good.
Thank you.
I've done that too. Used Shakespeare in some songs, except I just took Shakespeare's words. Because there were in some plays he actually wrote songs, but there's no music. So I mean, people have written music since him, but I decided to write like a folk setting for some of his stuff, like from The Tempest and The Winter's Tale and some of those things. So, I think it's cool to write from Shakespeare because there's so much there. It's just a rich artistic history, and I love it.
I was blown away by your songwriting. I was going to say, I've known you for such a long time, and I don't know if I've ever truly heard you perform, you know, because you've always been the host of the events. But I was blown away by your wit, you know, and your wordplay in your songs. The Canadian song was hilarious.
Yeah.
You know.
I've written a few that people really liked, that one and the new one that I won't mention because it's a little blue. We're going to try to keep this family friendly.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. That's thank you. It was, and I think you also have a real talent.
Thank you.
Let's hear some of the talent again. You got a song?
I do. Let me decide which one. It's difficult for me to pick some of these because the real songs I want to play are a little edgy, you know.
It's okay. I mean, if you want to do edgy, that's okay with me.
Yeah. I mean, I really do, you know, but you know how it is. It's like, you know, I mean, I don't know. Let me see what I got here. Maybe I'll play one. Let's see this one. What's this one called? So this one was inspired by That Dark Place. It was one of the first ones where I was like, It's one of the few songs I play that was written when I was in a darker place. As of right now, it's called My Favorite Lie. Mama told me life won't be easy. Everything comes in time. Well, I've been burned, I've been broken. My whole life I've been cast aside. Oh, everything comes in time. Oh, that's my favorite lie. Love has made me cruel, life has made me bitter. Some days it's hard to smile, and I always question a woman's intention when she says, stay a while. Oh, everything comes in time. Oh, that's my favorite lie. Well, darling, I'm not yours, you're not mine. That's okay with me. If you ever get tired, there's the door, and I'll embrace my revelry. Oh, everything comes in time. Oh, well, I fell in love, lost a friend, maybe 2 or 3. But I'll carry on as a summer wind, maybe the winter breeze. Oh, everything comes in time. Oh, that's my favorite line. Thank you very much.
That's good. So you've got a you've got a breadth of different songwriting styles. It seems. What do you write for the band? Like, do you do stuff that you write with them?
What do you mean?
Well, like when you perform with the band, is it your original stuff, or is it like you write it with the band, or how does that?
That's a good question. You know, there are multiple songwriters in the group, which really, woo, the party's here, you know.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I do write for the band. Rob and Paul also write for the band. But in regards to my songwriting style, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, to me, it just seems like I'm just writing songs, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I mean, I think what I bring to the band, I think I bring a lot of passion, you know, in my performance and playing. You know, I try to write things that are, you know, meaningful. But when I first started writing for the band, I was in a dark period, you know. I just wanted to write rock songs. So a lot of my lyrics in the band are a lot edgier than what I'm singing for you right now in regards of content, you know. Sometimes they're even simpler because I just want to write a simple band song. Like My Parting Wish, like when we first started writing that song, you know, I was saying, wow, this would be just great. I just want to keep it like simple. You know, I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want to worry about making the lyrics pretty. I just want to have this rock song, whatever, you know, soft and rock style. But Rob is such a, he really puts his all in his lyrics every time, you know, and he does such a great job with it. And of course, he wrote a fucking masterpiece. I mean, just really beautiful lyrics, you know. And I'm like, damn, you know. And you know, and Paul, you know, he started, you know, bringing some band songs recently, you know, because we've been trying to get Paul in on singing and performing with us. I mean, not performing, but you know, singing, leading songs, and you know, he has a very deep voice. And there's one of the first songs he started singing was a song we wrote called Valkyrie, which is, you know, it's like ride on Valkyrie or whatever, you know. And you know, when we were writing that, I was thinking, damn, like this reminds me of like super hot biker chicks. You know what I'm saying? So we started writing a song about super hot biker chicks, and you know, and he has,
Ride of the Valkyrie.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but yes, they bring really different styles. Rob's very creative in his approach. He hates playing things the same. You know, he's like sometimes I'll be using like a G chord, you know, a lot, you know, because that's just why I like the G chord, right? And it's like, Kevin, that sounds exactly like this song. And I'm like, well, it's the same key. He's like, and you're okay with that? And I'm like, yes. You know, like, so, you know, it's really great working with, you know, because Rob has really inspired me to break out of my, you know, because you get accustomed to certain patterns, you know, and he's inspired me to break through those patterns that I've made for myself and, I guess, you know, get better in regards to that and try different songwriting structures. And it's really been great, you know, because prior to me joining the band, my songs, a lot of them were just like 4 chords. But I did have some where, you know, they were a little bit more experimental. But like I said, I got comfortable with some of the chord shapes and stuff. But yeah, but if you want, I don't know how long you want to do this for. What?
You want to do a song?
Yeah, would it be okay if I did one?
Sure, no problem.
So
we still got time, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this one I'll play the band song for you that I'm talking about, My Parting Wish, an acoustic version of it. It's not going to be the same, of course, but let me...
And this is one you wrote for the band?
It's one that me and Rob wrote together for the band. We, you know, typically we'll write, we'll write a song or like little bits and pieces of it, and we'll see if the band likes it, and then, you know, we'll just pitch it, and then if no one likes it, then we'll just not do it. But most of the time, the songs we present, we all really like, you know.
So I just want to let people know what you're doing, which is you've got like a glove with the fingers cut out.
Yeah.
And then you stuck a shaker egg in your glove, and I'm assuming that's so you can do rhythm with your shaker egg while you play. That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm the first person I've seen who've done it. I'm sure there have been other people who've done it, you know, but like you said, I mean, I felt a little empty on stage one day, and I was like, damn, I really wish I had like a drummer with me or something.
And now you do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for knocking your door. Sorry for whatever for. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You said I'd also have a friend. Was that too just for kicks? Whatever, I'll just forget it. Whatever, I'll just regret it. Melancholy eyes on the tip of my tongue. Sip of sadness, so whatever, I'm young. These thoughts slip slowly and fade into the sand. Traces of your dust spread over the land of my mind. My mind. Sweet aching bliss, like a lingering kiss, descend into the blackness, my parting wish. Just one tiny favor before you go. Forget about me and all that you know, and be free. Be free. Be free.
something like that. That's called My Parting Wish.
That was great. Yeah, I could tell. I could hear the band with those like power chords that you were doing. I don't know if they're actually power chords, but like the riff, the harder chords. They're the chorus, yeah. So the band, where do you perform? Like bars, pubs?
Oh yes, we play. I mean, I think we've played it. I don't want to say we've played it all, but we've played a lot. We've played at breweries. We've played at bars. We've played some house shows. I think those are the most fun, because you can meet a lot of cool people there that are looking to be social, But, I mean, I don't think we've played on a radio station yet as a band, but we've done a lot. We've done a lot so far. I mean, we had to take a break because of the coronavirus. Everything was shut down for a year. But we're starting to make progress, and I don't know. It's exciting, because a lot of people who are friends are like they're doing some really awesome things, and so it's really inspiring to see them, to take way, and it's just really cool,
Yeah, and so you wrote with Rob, and you have a drummer and a bass player too, or do they write?
Yeah. Well, Rob actually he started as a guitarist. He has a funny story about his journey. It's similar to Paul McCartney's actually, because Paul McCartney started out as a guitarist. And the Beatles are like, oh, who wants to play bass? And John's like, well, I'm not. And George is like, no way. Rob's kind of like that, But he's like, this is what the band needs. And he has a very melodic sound in his bass. And some of the riffs he writes are just so beautiful. And honestly, I really, like I'm blown away, because he's just, I don't know. I don't really know what to say, but Paul also is a drummer, he also plays music as well. But that My Parting Wish song has a little interesting story to it because I remember, like I said, I'm a doer, I don't even, sometimes I just think, all right, well, how can we, change this or whatever. Well, I remember I ended up changing some of Rob's lyrics, right? Mm-hmm. And Rob was not happy, understandably, and I was thinking about it, as, part of me was like, the song is just so beautiful, and this is where, to me, I was like, in this band, I want us to have respect for one another, I want us to, just, treat each other right, because you see a lot of bands, they lose sight of their friendship, or they just get mad, or, obviously things happen, we're not at that level, Mm-hmm. I hope we're able to keep this going. But so I ended up changing the lyrics to some of his songs, and there was, a disagreement, but I ended up changing the title in response because I wanted to remember that moment. It used to be called something else, but I changed the title to My Parting Wish as a way to show respect for my bandmates and show that I cared and I didn't want them to feel disrespected. And I think that was a pivotal. I keep messing up that word. That was a pivotal moment.
You got it.
for us, and I think it set the tone for helping us, move forward in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. So, did you ever come across where somebody was trying to change one of your songs?
All the time,
Yeah.
But it's not like the lyrics. No one's really ever tried to change the lyrics before, but sometimes, I can't give an example, but like sometimes we'll be singing something, right? Mm-hmm. And then like you'll hear it and you're like, whoa, that's not what I don't like that, But I don't really say anything, you know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But what I find is that, you know, Rob has this thing where he goes, "Meh," you know, something he sings a line, sings something like that in My Parting Wish, you know. And at first it drove me batshit insane. I could not stand it, you know. But now when he doesn't do it, it gets me angry, you know. I'm like, what are you doing? That sounds so good. Why'd you stop? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a thing where you get so accustomed to the way something sounds. So that's why I try to let things, you know, we all try not to shut ideas down, which I think is good too.
Right. Well, we're getting close to the end, but I thought, you know, my parting question is usually, as I've warned you, what advice do you give to other people who want to do music?
Yeah.
You've kind of done it already. I mean, you've given some advice about breweries and playing at different places, but just in general, young person comes to you and says, wow, I love your guitar playing. I'd like to do that. What do you say?
I think that this journey, I've learned a lot. I've learned so much that, you know, school couldn't have taught me. And if I had pursued a different path, you know, I'd be a lot richer than I am now. You know, there's just so many things I'd have that I don't have now, you know. Mm-hmm. But I think that this musical journey has granted me a certain level of insight and appreciation of what I do have. And it's granted me so much appreciation. So a part of me wants to say, you know, keep your love of music, you know, and try to find something that makes more money, you know, that we can do both. But the other part of me says that they're not going to listen either way. They're just going to do whatever. So I would say to them, you know, you need to surround yourself with people who make shit, who make things happen. And you need to be one of those people. You can't let your fear dictate who you talk to or who not to talk to. Mm-hmm. You need to take chances and meet people who are where you want to be, you know, and a lot of people don't do that. So I think that's my advice to those people, is you need to do what needs to be done. You know, if you know that your path is, oh, well, I need to release a video, you need to release a video. If you see that there's this, I don't even know what else. If you know that there's someone who is just putting on great shows and just overall an awesome person, you need to talk to them, you know, because you need to develop those relationships, you know, because they're going to help you become a better you, you know, and you along the way, you're going to be able to help them, I'm sure, in ways, you know. It's just eliminating that fear. I think that's what it is.
Good advice. How about you do one more song and to close us out?
One more song. All right. Well, I think I'm going to play one that is difficult for me to play because, you know, as we develop as people, we're not who we want to be sometimes, you know, and as you develop, as you gain a certain insight into life, you know, some ideas change. Let's see. Actually, no, maybe I won't play that one. I'll save that for another day.
Okay.
I want to play it. Well, I'll play this one because this is called Praises. A lot of people like this one. This one was inspired by hard times and hope. So many evil people in
this world, bloodthirsty for glory, hungry for gold. Women and children are just as cruel as the strongest of men, as the wisest of fools. Yeah! So when I clap my hands, when it's hard to walk and it's harder to stand, for you looking for reasons, I'll tell you why. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. And I won't say it once, won't say it twice. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. I've sunk deeper than ships, I've soared higher than planes. I went back to the future of yesterday, looking for answers buried in time. Intuition surfaces like foam on a tide, oh yeah. So when I clap my hands, when it's hard to walk and it's harder to stand, for you looking for reasons, I'll tell you why. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. And I won't say it once, won't say it twice. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. And I used to be bitter, but I'm trying to be kind. Oh, stuck in a 6-month slumber, lost the love of my life. At least I learned something, at least I tried. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. And I won't say it once, won't say it twice. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind, oh yeah. So when I clap my hands, when it's hard to walk and it's harder to stand, for you looking for reasons, I'll tell you why. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. And I won't say it once, won't say it twice. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. And my spirit's been broken, so has my hope. My dreams have been dangled on the end of a rope. All is forgiven, only got one life. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. And I won't say it once, won't say it twice. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind, oh yeah. So when I clap my hands, when it's hard to walk and it's harder to stand, for you looking for reasons, I'll tell you why. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind. And I won't say it once, won't say it twice. Praise the Lord, I still got love on my mind.
very much.
Yeah, I heard that one at the festival the other day. That was great. So thank you, Kevin, for coming and doing the podcast with me.
Thank you for having me.
And before you go, you have an interesting guitar, and I know you're a spokesperson for them. What's the guitar?
This is Close. It's a carbon fiber guitar. They're a company based out of Provo, Utah. And yeah, they have an interesting story within themselves. It's two brothers who own it. One of the brothers, when he was in college, he left his dorm window open. He had a Martin guitar, and the humidity, I think, really messed with his Martin guitar. It actually ended up getting a crack right on the face of it, and he was like distraught. So he told himself, you know what? I think he was studying engineering or something, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to make a guitar company. And so on my road trip, I had a little Martin with me, and the humidity really messed up my guitar across the country. And same story. And I honestly think, it was one of those things where it's like, wow, it was meant to be. You know, it was an interesting experience. You know?
Did you run into him in Utah?
No, I actually ran into the nephew of Martin Guitars, though.
Okay. A
little bit before, and we were at a party, and he was like, "Oh, that better be a Martin." And I was like, "Yeah, what's it to you?" And he was like, "Oh, well, my uncle is the CEO of Martin Guitars or something like that." I'm like, "Oh, yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Yeah, because, people have been like, "Yeah, okay. You, okay." But he ended up calling his mom. It was like 3 a.m. or something. He's like, "Mom, tell him who we are. Tell him that we're Martins." And she's like, "Yes, my brother is Christopher Martin the Fourth," or whatever his name is. And I was like, "Really?" I'm like, "What are the odds of you coming across America's next great singer-songwriter, Kevin Kvein?" They were just really cool. I got drunk that night and I started puking. But prior to that, I asked him why he didn't make them in black, and he said they didn't sell. So when I saw Close Guitars, I reached out to them because, I beat my guitar really hard sometimes. I'm like, I need something that's sturdy. And I reached out to them, and they said, "Well, we like your songs, and we'd be interested to working with you." And that is the story about how I became a Close Guitars ambassador.
Yeah, I've seen those before. I think a couple people had them the other day, and they're sound good.
Yeah.
Yours, and it's small too, but I know they have bigger ones, but yours is really compact. It's nice. Do you have a small case for it there? Or?
I've had, it's like the regular size case. It fits the guitar perfectly. I guess the technical name for it would be like a 3/4 size or a travel guitar, and that's what their emphasis is on. They try to make it as full scale. It's like a full scale, but it's like the smaller full scale. So it's a full scale length because some people's fingers don't really like the travel size guitar fretboards. So they combined a full scale neck with, a small body is what they did, and it's a sturdy guitar. But I've had my case for a while, so whenever I'm showcasing it, I bring it everywhere. The case is it has holes popping out. I need to get a new one, But yeah, dude, it's I really like them a lot. They're so responsive, and I really want to help them grow, as a company for sure.
Okay. Well, that's great. Interesting that you ran into them and got that. So that's about all the time we have. So I'm going to say that we are coming to you from One Broadway. That's onebroadway.org. One Broadway in Lawrence, Massachusetts. We're called One Broadway Collaborative is the full name. And we are located at One Broadway. We are available online so that you can check out our schedule and you can check out all the information and donate because we are a nonprofit music and arts center. please help us out to keep open. We are trying to keep the doors open even during this post-COVID time. So please come, participate in our events and our concerts, and check it out. So onebroadway.org. And we do have an event tonight. This will be airing Friday, August 20th. And tonight at 7 p.m. is Rick Page, Neil Dale, and Matt Laius in Songwriters in the Round. And we also encourage you to stay safe. So that's it for this show. And thank you again, Kevin. And we're out.